And welcome back. So it is my privilege this evening to help introduce a very special person who most of you know. To help me do that, I'd like to bring up one of our board members, Jennifer Geiser. Will you please? So,
we did not plan this, by the way.
We look
like we're going to the prom.
Like we're going to prom, and it's the theme of the prom is
I mean, it was only a couple of years ago.
Right. So, Jen, by the way, is for everybody's knowledge, has been on the board of directors for NephCure for many years. Been a wonderful supporter. She's also executive vice president of communications and talent relations at NBC Universal.
Yeah.
Which is big, as I understand it. So can you share with everybody what's under that big umbrella?
Okay. So I oversee unscripted publicity for NBC, Bravo E, USA, Sci-Fi, Universal Kids, and syndication like Kelly Clarkson Show, Access Hollywood, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, all right. And in addition, she's a wonderful mom and a supporter of NephCure in her free time. And so, usually when I see Jen, it's on the LA. She's got a beautiful office, by the way, overlooking the Hollywood Hills. So, what I heard was anybody who bids $10,000 donation or more gets a VIP tour with you when they come out.
Of course,
right.
Yeah, Universal Studios.
So we'll do that.
Absolutely.
So with that, if you would please introduce tonight a special guest.
Yeah. Well, first I want to thank everyone for their support tonight and throughout the many years. As Josh said, I've been on the board of NephCure ever since my son Owen was diagnosed when he was 18 months old. It's been a very long and grueling, challenging road for us all. But I am elated to share with you tonight that Owen is now 19 years old, a sophomore in college. I know, I'm very young, I saw your face. A sophomore in college in Florida, and he's been in remission for an entire year, the healthiest he's ever been. And his health, of course, is the result of everybody, pitching in funds, research, trial, medication, all of that, so we wouldn't be here without all of this. In all the years that I've been on the board of NephCure, this year has given me renewed hope and confidence that we will find a cure. My optimism is in part due to all of you, but mainly it is because of Michael Levine, our newly appointed president. Whose passion and drive to kick kidney disease's ass is truly infectious. If you have not caught a ride on the Michael Levine train, you will tonight. I have known Michael since high school, although he's much, much older. No, not true. But we reconnected through our shared desire to cure our sons and everyone else who is suffering from these diseases. I am honored to introduce Mike tonight, who thankfully will never give up the fight. And Mike, you can count on us all to be right there with you the whole way. Please welcome Michael Levine.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you for the very kind words. They're very much appreciated and unexpected. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Levine. I'm the president of NephCure and the chair of this dinner. I only get to speak to you all once a year, unfortunately, so please bear with me. And due to the virus, I did not get the chance to speak to all of you last year. So here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you for attending and supporting this dinner this year during the most difficult times and circumstances. It is very much appreciated and means the world to us. Some special people have come in from all over the country and are watching from all over the country. The Hollemans are here from Seattle. Some dear friends are in from Cleveland. They know who they are. Our dear friend Brian Sklar is watching in LA as we speak. My niece Amanda is making her first appearance at the NephCure dinner with her friend Molly as she attends law school here in Manhattan. And it's very important for the next generation to help us all with this battle of chronic kidney disease. So when you put together an event of this nature and this big, it's an unbelievable task and undertaking. So thank you to all of you, because without all of you, we wouldn't be here. And you're the most important cog in trying to find a cure for chronic kidney disease, which now afflicts 36 million Americans, which is 1 in every 10 in this country, and they think it's going to be 1 in every 2 in this country in the near future. Thank you very much to my wife, Dana, my mother, my father, Rich, my brother, my sister, my in-laws, for all your support. And I think my 2 children are watching this via live stream. I love you both. Because of all of you, this dinner has now raised over $400,000. So that means you are making a difference. We have 30 drugs in clinical trials, and we have 1 drug that is expected to be in stage 4 within the next 6 months to a year, which is unbelievable. You will meet these gentlemen tonight from Travere who think that they have something that is going to help all these kidney patients, so you are saving lives. Thank you very much to all of our donors, and thank you very much to my committee. Thank you very much to Brad, Rachel, and Deb. If I could hug each and every one of you right now, I would. You are all angels on our shoulders. You give us hope against the greatest odds. You give us the strength to keep fighting every day. The last 2 years have been very difficult. Our fundraising is down 60% due to no in-person events. With that being said, we have not stopped. We will not stop. There are too many kidney warriors around the world waiting for us to deliver them a cure. We will not fail them under any circumstances. Failure is not an option. We will not stop until a cure is found. Tonight, the entire program will last an hour. I hope you will listen intently and carefully, because I think during this program you will laugh a little bit, you will cry a little bit, and you will be brought to tears. You will meet our 3 honorees. The first honoree is Dr. Irv Smokeler, the founder of NephCure in 1999, the reason why we are all here. NephCure's savior, our hero and our legend, and a visionary, our angel. So the way I see Dr. Smokeler is he's always said this quote to me, and it's a Margaret Mead quote. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that it has ever has. It's an honor and a privilege, Dr. Smokeler, to follow in your footsteps. Then you'll meet Dr. Caskell, who has treated our son Matthew for the past 15 years. The special thing about Dr. Caskell is that he has treated Matthew like his own son, and that's the way he treats all of his patients. Because of Dr. Caskell, Matthew is now a freshman at the University of Miami, Florida. And is winning his battle with FSGS, and we can never, ever thank him enough. The third honoree is Travere, as I mentioned, and I just want to say thank you so much, Travere, to being our partner in this quest for a cure. It means the world to us. It allows us to dream that a cure is possible. You give us hope and the strength to continue on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I used to watch the Jerry Lewis telethon every year and ask myself how those $5 donations helped as much as the $5,000 donations. Now I live it and see it every day. Every dollar you have donated and every dollar we raise tonight brings us one step closer to a cure. Kidney disease is considered a silent killer. Not sure how that is possible as being a silent killer when 36 million Americans are battling chronic kidney disease, 1 in every 10. Doctors believe kidney disease is the next epidemic of our generation. It afflicts all ages, all genders, and all colors. NephCure, FSGS, and nephrotic syndrome have a huge identity crisis. Please help us change that by wearing a NephCure bracelet and sharing everything that you've seen tonight and heard tonight. We are doing cutting-edge research, and if you want to get involved in a charity, this might be the one for you. Please help us save lives and change the world. There are patients and patient families in this room and watching from around the country who are blown away by your generosity and have hope because of it. Thank you very much for coming tonight. I wish all of you a very happy and a healthy Thanksgiving, and I wish all of you a very happy and a healthy holiday season. So now we're going to show a video, and on the video you're going to see Alonzo Mourning, an NBA world champion, NBA Defensive Player of the Year, NBA All-Defensive Team First Team, won a gold medal in the 2000 Summer Olympics. I hope you'll listen to his words very carefully, as this is what families and patients go through with a devastating diagnosis of FSGS and nephrotic syndrome. Please listen to his words very carefully, as you might be helping to save lives. For us, upon Matthew's diagnosis, I'm going to share a little secret with you that I don't tell many people. My father, who I always believed was Superman, and I believe he could leap tall buildings in a single bound, upon Matthew's diagnosis, in my office, we worked together, he uttered the words to me in my office that he believed Matthew was given a death sentence until we found out that we could battle this disease. Our hope and dream and goal is to get this video to go viral, to get it to the masses so we can help save lives. Please help us achieve this. Thank you very much.
The second pick, the 1992 draft, Alonzo Mourning from Georgetown University.
I took a lot of pride in keeping myself in the best possible shape. Everybody looked at me as this picture of health. I was strong, I was fast, very athletic. All-star, Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-NBA. I mean, the list goes on. You know, I was at the top of the world as it pertains to basketball standards. I started the Olympic process in 2000. I had noticed some discomforts at that particular time, but as professional athletes, we kind of taught to kind of ignore any discomforts or pain. I just said, oh, I'm just a little tired. Oh, you know, I need to get a little rest, or I need to work out more, get myself in better shape. I always found an excuse of why. We ended up winning the gold medal, and on my way back home with the medal around my neck, I said, look, you know, I don't feel my best. Everything was just swollen, and you could see the puffiness in my face. My energy was zapped. I was noticing the symptoms in my body, and I probably would have continued to ignore them if I did not have my preseason physical. Our team doctor identified some abnormalities in my body chemistries. He suggested that I go see a nephrologist, which I did not know what a nephrologist was. I went and had a biopsy done. I got a call. He said, you have a life-threatening disease called focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. I said, Doc, am I gonna die? He paused. He took too long to answer me. And he said, we have no known cure, we can treat it. Or ultimately, he said, in about 10 to 12 months, you're gonna probably be on dialysis. My head fell into my hands. Now, mind you, I had been at the top of the basketball world. And all of a sudden, bam, I get hit with this news. It's easy to be scared, and I was. It's easy to be intimidated. But yeah, I was intimidated. And you know why I was intimidated? Because I wasn't educated on what was going on in my body. Once I educated myself on this disease, once I could actually pronounce it right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. Once I could actually pronounce it right, I started getting a little bit more confident.
Back in 2000, fresh off an Olympic gold medal, after a routine physical, I was diagnosed with focal glomerulosclerosis.
It's a disease that targets the Black and brown community. So it's important for us to not be afraid of the doctor, that you prioritize going to the doctor at least once per year, one time a year, just to get a full checkup. When you're dealing with chronic kidney disease, know that you control your destiny. Do what you can do within your power. I cut back on my salt intake. I made sure I took my meds on time. I made sure I exercised. Making those adjustments and keeping my body in great shape, doing what was in my power allowed me to get back on the court.
One of the rare substitutions that brings a standing ovation.
I had so many people telling me to give up. I had so many people telling me to retire. You've done enough. If I would have listened to those folks, I would have never won a world championship.
They did it! They win their first championship in franchise history!
Your health is everything. I mean, you can have money in your pocket, the most expensive cars, clothes, what have you. None of that stuff means anything. I had it all. When you took my health away from me, I felt like I had nothing. Ultimately, I just want people to be confident and understand that it's not the end of the world. It's not over with. You can still live a productive life. You can. And I'm living proof of that.
Two incredibly passionate and powerful presentations this evening by Alonzo Mourning and Michael Levine. Thank you. As Michael shared, this next portion of our program this evening is really important. We get to honor people. If you think about what NephCure does, if you were wondering what does this organization do, why are you here? The truth is, if you think about any disease, there are stakeholders, and there are some amazing, beautiful people out there doing great work. But how do they all work together, right? So we have physicians like Dr. Caskell. We have researchers, like he's one of them as well. We have pharmaceutical companies who are bringing a lot of the therapies to market. We have patients that we deal with every day. We have government agencies like the FDA and the NIH doing incredible work. But who is bringing them all together to work together and figure out how does this go? And having spent 34 years working in rare diseases and in industry, I can tell you, there are 400 rare disease organizations out there, and there's only a handful of drugs for them. And in the 20 years since NephCure has been in existence, we went from not even understanding this disease to literally only being a year or two away from the very first therapies. That's incredible. And it happens through the vision, as we heard from Irv Smokeler and others who founded the organization, to say, hey, magical things happen when you bring magical people together. And that's what you're here this evening, folks. Your donations, your kindness and generosity is to make sure that everybody comes together to solve this. And I think this is a role model for a lot of the other organizations. So as Michael said, if there's one organization you can really feel proud about, that, yeah, you know what, you made a difference. You really did make a difference, because we're literally went from nothing 20 years ago to now basically having drugs that may arrest the progression of the disease. And so it's a very different story than when Alonzo Mourning first got diagnosed, and that pregnant pause from the physician. That's not going to happen anymore, literally, in just a couple years. What rare disease can you say that? And it's because of your generosity that we're here there doing that. So we have 3 really wonderful heroes we want to honor this evening, 2 individuals, and 1 very special company. So I have the honor of presenting the first award this evening to Travere Therapeutics. Travere, well, where are you guys? You please stand up first. Come on, everybody, you guys, let's see who you are. Thank you. So you may not know this, but Travere has its roots here in New York. It was started by a firm here locally. They eventually moved to San Diego, but it was a New York-started company. So again, returning home. And let me go through, before we introduce somebody very special from that company, let me share what Travere's mission is. They're a biopharmaceuticals company specializing in identifying, developing, and delivering life-changing therapies to people with rare diseases. They are a company that focuses on rare disease. They have no alternative agenda. They are probably one of the most socially responsible companies that I know. From the CEO on down, they're all about the patient. And so really, it is an honor to have you this evening. So I'm going to bring up their chief medical officer, who is the son returning home, Noah Rosenberg. Noah, come on and join me. So while Noah's walking up, you did your undergrad at Johns Hopkins, a real underachiever. Went on to medical school and then was a local working here at Mount Sinai. So, you know, it's amazing the influence that this small town of New York has in the worldwide. So with that, I have an incredible pleasure to introduce not just a wonderful gentleman, but also someone I consider a close friend. Noah, please. So as all things happen, we had these beautiful trophies that were delivered beautifully right to our office today instead of here. So we're going to pretend that this is a great glass sculpture that is really big and really cool. So Noah, let's get here. We go. Stand up right there.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you.
Give this back to you.
Thank you so much, Josh. And thank you, Michael Levine, and thank you, Alonzo Mourning, and thank you, Marcus, and thank all of you. And I feel like taking a page out of Michael's book, which is, I can't thank all of you enough. I feel incredibly privileged to be up here and inspired by all of you. And we at Travere, as Josh mentioned, we are incredibly patient-focused. The patient is at the center of everything that we do. And those aren't just words, those are actions. And I think you may have noticed, you know, we actually this year achieved top-line data in both our FSGS and IgAN programs, positive data. And, you know, that was quite a journey just to get there. You know, I moved my whole family from back in the New York groove, you know, over out to San Diego. It was a horrible journey, San Diego. Don't feel sorry for me, I know. It's beautiful there. But we moved out there, and the goal was to get these studies recruited. And there were some major pharmaceutical companies that were not going to get into FSGS because they literally said it's not recruitable. We can't do FSGS. We can't get those patients. And because of everyone in this room, because of you, because of the patients that are here, the families that are here, and the support network that we've developed and you've developed, we actually got those 2 studies recruited and really showed, you know, some of the bigger companies that we can do it in COVID, which was incredibly remarkable. And I'll just use one quote, if I may. I okayed it with her. Dr. Kaskel's wife, Phyllis, said when we were over taking pictures, you know, she said something that was very prescient and relevant to this. She said, when we take pictures alone, we look good. When we take pictures together, we look great. And when we're together as a team, and that's one of our company values, is stronger together, we operate with a mindset that the strength of teamwork and collaboration is what drives us. So 1 + 1 = 3, where we come from. And so I'm incredibly proud to accept this award on behalf of the company, on behalf of you, this was an accomplishment that you've all achieved. So thank you, thank you, thank you again. I just want to close with, you know, there are 3 stops on the train. Stop 1 is getting positive data. The next stage is submitting the package, the application, to the agency, the FDA, and to European agencies as well. And that's our plan. And we need to get these drugs approved and then get these drugs out and get access to patients. So we realize that. So it's why we're not jumping up and down, because we're still on the journey. But we look forward to working, collaborating closely with you on that journey. We also need to keep patients in the study, because these were interim analyses. So anybody you know who's in the study, the FDA, and they've made it very clear, and it's very important to continue patients to the end of that study until we get to that very last visit. So we still have quite a bit of ways to go, but we can sort of take a sigh of relief that we've gotten here and hold hands and look forward to the rest of the journey together. We're proud to stand by you and with you as leaders in the rare kidney revolution, and we're proud to be in Rare for Life. Thank you, NephCure. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you, for the recognition, your dedication, and for providing hope for the rare kidney disease community. Thank you.
Noah, thank you. So as Michael mentioned, there are 30 clinical trials going on right now. Let me put that in perspective. 5 years ago, 2. It was Travere who was the icebreaker. So while there are 18 different companies across 30 different trials going on, Travere was numero uno. So I thank you for breaking the ice and making it possible. So I have the fun privilege of introducing someone very special who's been behind the scenes. If you've been to the golf outing or Countdown and these other things we do, the all-in tournaments, you'll see her, my friend who we drive around in the golf cart and thank everybody. Dana Levine, where are you? Hey! So Dana, thank you. Dana's going to award our second there we go, medical honoree this evening, and it's an incredibly special human being. So Dana, this is the award that, if you can hold this and give this to when the time is right. So thank you.
Everyone, please close your eyes. Imagine you're driving in your car and the phone rings. You pick it up. The voice on the other end says, "We have the blood test results, and your 2-year-old son is in kidney failure." Open your eyes. You just relived the scariest, most helpless moment of my life. The shock ran through me. I was shaking. My throat closed. How could this be happening to my little boy? Who was going to save him? Who was going to do a kidney biopsy? Who is going to explain to us what FSGS is? Who is going to decide what medicines he should take? Who is going to set up clinical trials for him to participate in? Who is going to be there for me when I need help with the protocols? Who is going to help me when my son is getting every negative side effect from the medications he is taking? Who can I text any time of the day or night when we have questions? Who will tell me what to do when my son is in pain? Who is going to help me when I need help explaining to our son why his body doesn't work like everyone else's, and he feels sick and is swollen and is exhausted? Who will take care of him like he would his own son? The answer to the question, who, was clear the moment we walked into the nephrologist office of Dr. Frederick Caskell. Yes. Dr. Caskell is the who. Dr. Caskell, from the moment we walked into your office in 2005, scared and confused and crying, to 2021, when you gave Matthew his college going away speech and shook his hand, you have been our who that has been by our side day in and day out. You have wiped our tears, given us hope with your expertise in the field of nephrology, told us stories about your travels to many countries and what you have learned about kidney disease from all around the world, and changing our lives by introducing us to the NephCure Foundation. At every hospital visit, you have taught us to be patient. You have taught us to have hope. You have taught us to trust. You have taught us to believe in doctors, medicine, and miracles. Today and every day, we honor you, Dr. Caskell. Dr. Caskell is an internationally recognized clinical investigator and educator and pediatric nephrologist. Dr. Caskell is the former vice chairman of pediatrics and director of pediatric nephrology at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. Dr. Caskell is focused on assuring the training of the next generation of pediatric nephrologists and investigators while providing the most current expertise in care of children with kidney disorders. Dr. Caskell not only cares about the medical side of kidney disease, he cares about each and every patient. So much so that he runs a camp in the summer that allows children with kidney disease, CKD, or even children who have kidney transplants or are on dialysis the opportunity to experience summer fun like every other kid. Dr. Caskell has dedicated his whole life to learning and understanding how to treat kidney diseases and finding cures. Dr. Caskell, on behalf of all the parents, all of your patients, and future patients, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for being the most amazing nephrologist and man. You are determined to find answers, focused on giving your patients the best treatments available, nurturing by making us always feel safe with our decisions, attentive to your patients' every emotion, compassionate with the parents, and you are definitely passionate about the Yankees. You are the who is changing lives and saving lives. On behalf of myself, who is your biggest fan, Mike, Matthew and Sid who are watching, and all of your patients and families and everyone you have been a hero for, it is my honor and privilege to present Dr. Caskell with the 2021 Medical Honoree Award. Congratulations.
Got me. I'm very humbled and I'm very touched, and you realize how old you are when 3 of your former patients that you knew at age 4, 4, and 8 are now all in college, and some of them are here tonight. So, and I have to thank NephCure, I have to thank the leadership, the Levine family. I want to go back historically to where this started with this organization. In December of 2001, cold, wet night in Bethesda, I was at a conference with the director of the Kidney Institute of the NIH, Dr. Josie Briggs, and Dr. Bill Smoyer asked me to meet 2 gentlemen for a drink in the bar at the hotel after the meeting. It was Lou Antosh and Irv Smokeler, 2 dads of teenage girls with focal sclerosis. And that's when I was introduced to this concept of NephCure that was 2 years old, 1 year old at the time. And they said to me, you're going to run the first clinical trial with your colleagues in the country of FSGS, and we're going to help the NIH fund it. And indeed, that was the first clinical trial of FSGS that started in 2002. And it was because of NephCure early on that encouraged the NIH to do this. That trial wasn't the best success, but it was the first one that laid the groundwork for what we are seeing now, as we've heard so well explained, with advances in the field to almost a cure, close to it. It'll take some time, but we're very close with the involvement of industry and Travere and some of the trials that are out there now making record advances that we just heard presented last week at the American Society of Nephrology. And we're glad to have this advance because prior to this, we really were left with not much but hope. But the hope is even better now for the families and children in this community because of our engagement with NephCure and industry and the NIH and the FDA to make this work. And it's the people that make it work. It's the Levines, it's all the other members. It's Josh, it's the Smoklers, it's the Antosh. I can go on. It's Lauren, it's other members that have been so actively committed to this mission. The family of Marcus Solar's family, I honor them tonight for their award and recognition. And the families that are here with me tonight, the three of them, and Matthew's in college, you better be studying because he's not here. But Van is here. I don't want to use last names. We're not supposed to do that. Alicia's here. And Matthew's here in spirit. We need to know that they're at a level of their life course because of advances in the field. And for all the other children that are challenged by this disease, I know that NephCure and our commitments will help them through it. So I hope I haven't left anybody out, but thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good evening. So our third and final award this evening is a new one. It's a visionary award. And as Michael shared, goes to a very special man who was the grounding roots and the founder of NephCure and the reason we're all here. With that, I'd like to ask you to turn your attention to the screen. He's out there. Irv and his family are watching. So please, watch with intensity and realize you're seeing something about a very visionary man who is truly trying to make a difference in this world, and we are forever indebted to him as an organization. So please, I would like to introduce the chairman of our scientific advisory board, who is also going to be joining remotely, Dr. Martin Pollack from Harvard Mass General, to present the award to Dr. Irving Smokeler.
Irv Smokeler is about to meet and hire his first NephCure executive. He's got on a great business suit and a pair of sneakers. That's Irv. Symbolic. Man of action, not style. Irv was really kind and generous. Been so to me and my family and many others. Insanely so when it came to NephCure. NephCure was a struggling young organization when 9/11 happened and charitable giving vanished. Irv took us on his back and carried us financially for years. Irv says we will never, ever give up. He says it always. He means it. It drives him. He also says, how's your son? How's your daughter? He knows the pain of kidney patients and their families. Been there. It drives him.
I had the extremely good fortune to work alongside Irv for 15 years. He and NephCure donated several $1 million to NIDDK-funded projects, Neptune and CureGN. I nominated him to the NIDDK Advisory Council. In addition to his passion, understanding, focus, and psychology skills, his underlying philosophy was exactly what we needed. If he saw a single person suffering, he needed to do something about it.
20 years ago, on a cold December evening in Bethesda, Maryland, I was first introduced by Bill Smoyer to Irv and his colleague Lou Antosh, both parents of children with FSGS, at an NIH-sponsored meeting I co-chaired on developing the first clinical trial for FSGS. It was then that I was forever impressed with their vision for advocacy and research in glomerular disease that indeed resulted in the funding of the trial and the organization we are all so proud of today.
Dear Irv, a great thank you for Michigan. What am I thankful for? I think you are one of the reasons why we ended up here. coming to Michigan with your help to get us started with our program in glomerular diseases, a vision to establish a cohort study of people with FSGS, which then resulted in what now is a very important framework for glomerular disease in the Rare Disease Research Network, Neptune and beyond. All the activities emerging from that and the nucleus that all emerged when we had our first discussion, you, Jim Shaman, Larry Holzman up here now 20 years ago.
I am greatly indebted to Irv Smokeler for his work, vision, and generosity over the past 3 decades. I started my pediatric nephrology fellowship in Michigan in 1991. My division chief, Dr. Robert Telsch, took care of Matt, and Dr. Smokeler appreciated the shortage of nephrologists and supported the fellowship. He later established the Robert C. Telsch Collegiate Professorship in the Department of Pediatrics to honor Dr. Telsch. This professorship has supported me and a number of glomerular researchers in the division.
20 years ago, when my grandson Benjamin was diagnosed with FSGS, there was absolutely nothing out there for his family. When I found the Nephrotic Syndrome Foundation of Boca Raton, Florida, and reached out to Irv and Carol, it changed not only our lives, but the lives of thousands of people.
Hi, Irv, and congratulations. I have to tell you that the very first time I met you at a small fundraising event, I realized how a sharp brain with a big heart coming together can generate very bright sparkles. And I can tell you, this sparkle has inspired me and will continue to illuminate the path ahead for scientists like me that have a strong desire to cure glomerular disease.
I've been so fortunate to work alongside Dr. Smokler on behalf of the kidney community. He's passionate about kidney research, as you know. He's dedicated to patients and their families, and he is tireless.
I am in awe of what you and Carol started and have seen through to great progress. Thanks to your vision, your generosity, your determination, and your hard work, we are on the verge of seeing new treatments for kidney patients.
Irv has another critical quality. He had great contacts in the halls of Congress. Like Hamilton, he was in the room, always in the right room. And if there was no room, he used his real estate developer skills to build one. One striking example, he arranged to get money for glomerular disease built into the Defense Department budget.
Congratulations, Irv, on recognition of your advocacy and leadership with the NephCure Kidney International Global Visionary Award. Dr. Smokler's drive to find a cause and a cure for FSGS and related illnesses has impacted thousands of people diagnosed each year.
You have been such a great role model for me to become an advocate and more involved in my child's health. And I just want to thank you for that. Your kind and giving and caring spirit has helped make NephCure the organization that it is today.
Congratulations, Dad, for all your hard work and all the lives you changed with NephCure. We're so proud of you.
Congratulations, Irv. We love you.
So I want to thank you, Irv Smokeler.
A big thank to you and to NKI for all you have done.
So congratulations and mazel tov, Irv.
You should take great pride in what you have accomplished. But I know, as your friend, there will be little self-congratulation. And what you will do is you will see all this as a prelude to even bigger things to come.
Irv, nobody deserves this recognition more than you. Your leadership, your strength of character, your tenacity, your genius in leading us for all these years.
The work you're doing is making a life-changing difference for people every single day. So, congratulations on this award. You've earned it, and enjoy the celebration.
Wishing you all the best for the next stage of your life, and we certainly will try everything we can to carry that torch forward. Thanks a lot.
We are today where we are because of Irv Smokeler. I say this in the highest respect of the word. Irv Smokeler is a fearless deal maker. To sum it up, I use the support term for Irv Smokeler. Irv, you are the man. Thank you.
I don't think I need to remind anyone here that Irv Smokeler is really a remarkable human being, terrific leader, and in fact, a visionary. I think I first met you, Irv, 21 years ago at the Podocyte meeting in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And it's been a great pleasure getting to know you, Irv, over the past 20 years. So, Irv, Irv is not about BS. He cares about tangible things, real things. He cares about progress in providing super high level of care to patients. He cares about progress in research that's meaningful. And it's about kidney disease with him. It's not about him. It's really about kidney disease, about progress in kidney disease. And this is super refreshing and a huge part of why NephCure has been really so remarkably successful. The rapid advances in kidney disease research and treatments that we have been witnessing recently would not be happening without Irv's input and perseverance over 2+ decades. So Irv, I know that you are not motivated to do what you do based on things like awards and recognition and so forth, and these sorts of things may probably even make you a little bit uncomfortable. But we're giving you an award. This is not this is not about you. This is about us. We have a need to celebrate you. So it is my honor to recognize Irv Smokeler with NephCure's Global Visionary Award for more than 20 years of unparalleled leadership, dedication to patients' families, and expanding the bounds of knowledge for rare kidney disease research. Congratulations, Irv.
Thank you, Dr. Pollack, for your kind words. And most important, thank you to all of you who have enabled such progress in protein-spilling glomerular disease. This includes parents, families, patients, researchers, clinicians, and all other supporters. The progress we've made in the last 45 years since my son has been diagnosed with FSGS has been enormous, and we have every reason to expect that it will continue. We appreciate everyone's efforts, and please remember that we will never give up. Good night.
Irv, Carol, I know you're out there, and your family is out there. I hope you hear the thanks and the praise, but most importantly, I hope you can feel through the waves the love in this room for you. So again, thank you, and so well deserved. So I'd like to introduce a very special local family. You've heard probably the name the Solars, and they're from North Jersey. And you saw this morning, actually this evening, our welcoming for veterans. Richard Solar is not only a veteran, he's an active firefighter in North Jersey. And where is he? I think I have the privilege of having to stall because I think he went to the bathroom. Let's see. So that said, there he goes, wonderful. So I'd like to welcome the Solar family, Angelica, Richard, Ariana, and Marcus.
We cut it close. We've only been here for 2 hours, so he had to use the bathroom at this exact time. Of course. Thank you, Josh. I'm not great at public speaking, so I promised my wife I would stick to the notes this time. Plus, I don't want to sleep in the couch tonight. It is truly an honor to be here tonight and to be able to share a story with you this evening. Almost 4 years ago, my wife was faced with an emergency room visit for what we were sure was just a stomach virus. As soon as my shift at the firehouse was over, I joined my wife in the emergency department at Hackensack University Medical Center. Shortly after my arrival, we were told by the staff that our son has something called nephrotic syndrome, that he would need to be admitted immediately per the nephrologist for IV steroids. First of all, we're here for a stomach virus, so surely you're all wrong. Did the people mess up the paperwork and we ended up in the wrong room? What is nephrotic syndrome? What is a nephrologist? Will he need a kidney transplant? Is he going to die at 2 years old? Those and so many more questions filled our heads as we were shuffled into his room in the early morning hours. A few hours later, we met Dr. Kenneth Lieberman, who sat down ever so patiently and explained everything this disease was and what he had in store for our son. This was day one of being given the diagnosis for a disease that would consume most days and nights in our home for the past 4 years. When Marcus was diagnosed, there was nothing. They give your kid a high dose steroids, we cross our fingers, we say about 1,000,000 prayers, and we hope he goes into remission. By the way, he never did. In the meantime, you watch your loving, dinosaur-obsessed, energetic toddler turn into an entirely different kid, physically and emotionally. You watch him gain weight, and you watch him have angry outbursts because of the steroids that you later find out did nothing for him anyways because his cause is genetic. You also watch your wife spend way too much money at Target on even more dinosaurs to make up for it all. By the way, he has enough dinosaurs to film Jurassic Park. Enough already. And later you watch some of your families and loved ones back away a little bit because they don't know how to react or what to say other than, if you need me, call me. Well, today we are here to say that we need you and we are calling you. Consider this phone call to help not only Marcus, but other kids like him. Also, consider this call an official invitation from my wife and I to the first ever New Jersey Pig Jig. It won't be as glamorous as this gala. However, we will have barbecue food and beer. You know, the essentials. Thank you for sharing in our journey, and thanks in advance for your commitment to NephCure. We appreciate each and every one of you. Now, here are some other families we'd like to introduce you to give you a better idea of the life we all live with a rare kidney disease.
Hi, my name is Robert Jurian, and I have FSGS.
My name is Kimberly, and I'm battling FSGS.
My name is Mateo, and I'm 7 years old, and I have a kidney disease that is called nephrotic syndrome.
My name is Tanya, and this is Daniel, my husband. We are the parents of Mateo.
My name is Diana. I'm 14 years old, going into 9th grade. I have nephrotic syndrome.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm 13. I'm going to 8th grade, and I have nephrotic syndrome.
I was diagnosed through basically having kidney stones. After they found the kidney stones, I followed up with my primary doctor, and they noticed there's a high amount of protein in my urine.
When Mateo was 2 years old, we were vacationing in Mexico. One morning, he woke up and he was really puffy.
I first had swollen eyes when I would wake up. My eyes were completely swollen shut, and I had pitting edema in my legs, and it was pretty severe.
We're very shocked and scared. We didn't know what was going on.
I have taken several medications, from steroids through immunosuppressant through injections.
When I was first diagnosed, I was given 60 milligrams of prednisone, and me and prednisone do not work well together at all because it lowered my immune system, and I worked with children, which ended up leading to a strep in my bloodstream, septic shock.
The steroids, we had to deal with side effects, and the side effects would be mood swings. He would gain weight. He was very hungry.
Some of the side effects from Prograf is usually headaches, nausea, vomiting. It's really a lot.
I gained about 35 pounds after my first trial, being on prednisone for a year, and being on immunosuppressants for 15 months slowed me down tremendously, as I'm an active cyclist and kayaker, and I felt tired all the time.
When I had my kidney transplant and the FSGS reoccurred, I've tried a little bit of everything. High steroids, plasmapheresis, 2 doses of rituximab.
Every time we tried to decrease the doses, he would relapse again.
Have a relapse, I feel tired, I feel headache, I feel stomachache, and when there's too much noise, it bothers me.
When a relapse happens, usually my face gets swollen sometimes, but most of it's stomach pain.
We used to travel around every weekend. We like to go places, and now we have to stop because he cannot be exposed to the sun. He cannot be exposed to the cold weather. He cannot eat outside in the restaurants.
I try to be positive, but there are definitely those moments when it's like, oh, I just don't look like myself, none of my clothes are fitting, like you're just very puffy, very uncomfortable in your own body, especially when you're like in middle school, and I think a lot of that stuff, like, it's really beginning to matter, especially the way that you look.
Usually I have to miss school, and if I miss school for days or periods of time, I have to make the workout. Usually it's a lot of work.
I don't like about this disease that I can't eat stuff with salt, like hot dogs, French fries, and I have to eat broccoli with no salt. And another thing that I don't like is when I have to go to the hospital every time, and when they poke me to get blood out of my body.
It's a very hard journey. I've definitely been through it, from being in a coma with septic shock to being in fluid overload to now being on dialysis for the second time at the age of 34.
NephCure gives me hope, and also has given me resources and relationships with other patients to talk about the disease and spread the awareness, which is just as important as research.
We wish to find a cure. There is no other wish.
What I wish for, medicine that would still keep things under control, but also be something that doesn't affect you in a really overbearing sort of way.
Just give grace to people even though you don't know what they're going through.
Help us, all the kids, they're suffering for this rare disease, and I know that if we get together, we're gonna find a cure.
I cannot thank everybody enough in the room for funding this great cause.
Thanks to everyone who showed up today. Of course, big thank you to NephCure for literally everything that they've done. They're incredible, and they just helped in such an amazing way. So thank you.
Beautiful. So as you can see, 20 years of research and funding at events like this has really paid off. And we are so close, as you heard. We're maybe a year or two away from our first. So we get to the fun portion of the evening. If you've been here before, you know what comes next. So I'm going to need a little help from a very special guy. So tell them what happens next, Marcus.
What happens next?
Let's go fund the cure.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.